Beneath the world of the living lies a realm where no light dares to shine, where rivers flow not with water, but with forgetfulness, sorrow, and fire. They say every soul must cross them to be judged. But tell me, would you dare step into the waters of death? This is Hades and the rivers of the dead. In the dark and endless depths of ancient Greek mythology, where darkness hangs heavy upon the soul like a shroud, and sunlight dares not to pierce through, Hades, god of the underworld, reigns over a realm where the order of death is maintained. He's not a tyrant or tormentor, but a merciless guardian of balance after life. A deity who keeps souls in eternal stillness. A subterranean world, cold, mist-laden, and drowned in absolute darkness, filled with silent, emotionless shades drifting like forgotten phantoms. The air is thick with suffocating silence, where every sound echoes like a whisper through eternity. The souls, psyche, the immortal shadows of humankind, are not fierce or bloodthirsty beings, but hollow, quiet existences. Without fresh blood, they cannot even speak, only waiting endlessly for judgment in this boundless world. The five rivers, Styx, the river of hatred; Lethe, the river of forgetfulness; Acheron, the river of sorrow; Cocytus, the river of lamentation; and Phlegethon, the river of fire, flow like symbolic borders, each representing a dark aspect of death, cold hatred, devouring oblivion, suffocating grief, endless wailing, and burning punishment. Their contrast, the stillness of cold against the heat of torment, serves as a reminder that death is not an end, but a transformation filled with terror and mystery, where the soul becomes forever ensnared in eternal silence. The nightmare journey begins at the moment of death, when the final breath leaves the body. Thanatos, god of death, and his brother Hypnos, god of sleep, sometimes accompany the soul, guiding it toward the entrance of Hades, where Hecate, goddess of magic and boundaries, wanders in the darkness with dim lanterns, guarding the border between the living and the dead. The soul is brought by Hermes, the messenger of the gods, to the shores of the Acheron river, where the air is cold and misty, like the breath of an open grave. There Charon, the ferryman of the dead, awaits, an old, harsh man with eyes gleaming in the dark, who ferries souls across the Acheron in his battered boat, but only if they have a coin, obol, the burial payment placed beneath their tongue. Souls left unburied, those whose bodies never return to the earth, are denied passage. They wander the desolate shore for 100 years, lost in thick fog, wailing and alone, unable to enter the underworld. The Acheron, river of sorrow and pain, flows with dark, deep waters, a symbolic boundary heavy with silence, reminding each soul of the griefs of life. In some legends, Acheron is described as a lake leading into the depths of Hades, inspired by the real Acheron River in Epirus, a region of Greece where Odysseus, the hero of the Odyssey, once summoned the dead and trembled before their silent presence. After crossing the Acheron, the soul reaches the main gate, where Cerberus, the three-headed dog with a serpent's tail, stands guard. This growling beast, with its razor-sharp teeth, prevents any soul from escaping and instills the terror of eternal stillness with a single gaze. Now comes the turn of the river Styx, the river of hatred, which coils 7 times around the underworld. Its waters are black and cold, an unbreakable boundary upon which even the gods swear oaths. Oaths so sacred that not even Zeus, god of the sky, dares to break them. As the souls pass across it, they feel the symbolic weight of hatred falling upon them like a shadow. Yet this river is more a boundary than a tormentor. Styx is not merely a river, but also a goddess, daughter of Oceanus, whose symbolic power preserves the order of the underworld. The contrast of the rivers lies in their symbolism, where the soul faces the terror of death in silence. It is a tension between the coldness of forgetfulness and sorrow, and the burning heat of wrath and punishment, a reflection of Greek philosophy's view of death as a merciless cycle. The soul may reach Cocytus, the river of wailing and lamentation, a stream said to branch from the Styx and flow into the Acheron. In some ancient accounts, such as those described by Homer in the Odyssey, it is known as the River of Endless Cries. Its waters are grey, cold and still, filled with echoes of ceaseless lamentations that drift through the darkness like ghostly whispers. They do not torture the soul directly, but instead symbolize the profound grief of those who suffered or were punished in life. Plato in his Republic described it as a circular river, winding around the underworld like a great ring and eventually descending into the depths of Tartarus, the pit of eternal punishment, where the guilty are trapped in everlasting stillness, their cries becoming part of the oppressive shadowed atmosphere. Sometimes the river is imagined as a vast lake, its shores veiled in cold mist, forever reminding souls of the tears that never end. In contrast to this suffocating cold, there lies Phlegethon, the river of fire, a blazing stream that burns through Tartarus and flows beside the Styx, its boiling, fiery waters coiling around the earth like symbolic flames, while its hot vapors rise like the breath of a slumbering monster. Plato described it as a stream of fire that encircles the earth and descends into the depths of Tartarus, its shores covered in molten, burning soil, a symbol of searing wrath and the great punishments reserved for the gravest sinners. Yet even this river serves more as a symbolic boundary than a tool of direct torment. In some myths, it merges with Cocytus, forming a terrifying contrast between fire and ice, a haunting reminder that death itself is filled with endless contradictions. And finally, there is Lethe, the river of forgetfulness, a tranquil stream flowing through Elysium, the underworld's paradise. Its clear, calm waters compel souls to drink, erasing all memories of their earthly lives and preparing them for reincarnation, the return to a new existence. This forgetfulness, whose name in ancient Greek means concealment or oblivion, is not a punishment, but a necessary part of the cycle of death and rebirth. Yet it carries a terrible contradiction, the complete loss of self and identity, a silent eternity that reduces the soul to a hollow shadow. In ancient tales, such as those told by Virgil in the Aeneid, Lethe is described as a river flowing quietly through a serene valley in Elysium, its waters washing away the cares and pains of the past. But this cleansing is so profound that the soul, stripped of even the faintest comforting memory, becomes lost within the cold mists of forgetfulness. After crossing these rivers, the souls face judgment, carried out by three semi-divine judges, who were once mortal kings: Minos, the ultimate arbiter and chief judge; Rhadamanthus, judge of the Asian peoples and guardian of Elysium; and Aeacus, judge of Europeans and keeper of the gates. They decide each soul's fate according to the deeds of their life, without bias, mercy, or emotion, guided only by the cold justice of myth. The righteous are sent to Elysium, a calm yet dimly lit realm of green, meadows and gentle rivers like Lethe, a haven for heroes and the virtuous, such as Socrates, the Greek philosopher. Ordinary souls drift to the asphodel meadows, grey and stagnant plains where spirits float in endless stillness, devoid of either joy or pain. And the great sinners are cast into Tartarus, a triple-layered abyss darker than night, heavy with silence and symbolic torment, the endless labor of Sisyphus, forever pushing a stone that always falls, or the eternal hunger and thirst of Tantalus, reaching for food and water that forever recede from his grasp. Here, punishment is not physical, but the eternal repetition of one's own sin, a ceaseless cycle of guilt that defines the very nature of damnation. These rivers converge at the center of Hades in a vast, symbolic marsh that beats like the dark heart of the underworld. Occasionally the Erinyes, winged women with serpents for hair, known as the Furies, traverse this swamp. They are primarily agents of punishment and vengeance in the mortal world, targeting crimes such as familial murder, yet their shadows extend into the underworld, serving Hades and Persephone as overseers of the torment of sinners in Tartarus. They are named Alecto, endless anger, Megara, jealousy, and Tisiphone, avenger of murder. Hades rules this realm alongside his wife Persephone, queen of the underworld and daughter of Demeter. Her presence is seasonal, 6 months in Hades, bringing autumn and winter when her mother, Demeter, mourns and the earth bears no fruit. 6 months on earth, bringing spring and summer. This cycle explains the changing seasons and transforms Persephone into a symbol of death and rebirth. In some myths, she bears children such as Zagreus, god of resurrection, with Zeus, or even with Hades alongside the Erinyes. Yet her primary role remains that of a dual queen between light and darkness. Heroes like Heracles, the mighty warrior who captured Cerberus, or Orpheus, the legendary musician who persuaded Hades with his music to return his wife. Eurydice, though ultimately failed, dared to enter this realm and return. For most souls, however, the journey is one way, toward eternal stillness, where time halts and darkness devours everything. This myth is not just a story, but a dark warning. Death enforces a merciless order, and its rivers draw you into silence, where even memories vanish. Do you dare to imagine being lost in those cold mists, without a single memory to hold on to, hearing only the echoes of lamentation in the darkness? They say every soul must one day cross the dark rivers, and perhaps on that day, you'll hear Charon whisper your name through the mist. If you dare to walk into the darkness, a like, comment, and subscribe. For in the depths of myth, no one returns alone.